Welcome once again to the BRIC Filmmakers Meetup. Today we have two very special guests, Cindy Mish of the Art is Alive Film Festival and LA filmmaker Jason Bernardo. His film A Long Road to Tao is featured in this year's film festival. Cindy, how did you get your own film festival?
So I have to say I was very blessed. When I started working in media, I had the opportunity to interview a bunch of different filmmakers, actors, industry people. And then as luck would have it, I ran into John A. Gallagher, who is a very long-time New York City-based director. He saw something in me that was just very different and special, as he said. And so he started introducing me to festival founders, actors, filmmakers. And then eventually he just said to me, Cindy, you need to have your own festival. And so 7 years ago, I said, oh, I'm going to start the Art is Alive Film Festival. And it's all because of one conversation that started by talking to John Gallagher.
Not only do you have your own film festival now, you already had a very successful radio platform, podcasting platform, television show, and print media. You had all this happening. How do you tell us about all that? How do you manage to do all that? And now you're, this is, how many years have you been doing the film festival now?
Film festival is 7 years.
This is in your 7th year.
Yeah, the radio I've been in for 11 years. TV is a new venture that's been in like the last 6 months, and I've really been, as they call it, an award-winning journalist for 25 years. I started when I was about 15 years old. That's when I won my first award. I went on to publish 3 books. I went on to write for various newspapers, and then I got into the magazine industry. I came to learn that movies were magical and that the written word has great power to it. So I just put the two together, and I winged it a whole lot, and here I am right now.
Abracadabra.
Yeah,
right?
Kind of.
Jason, welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Congratulations on featuring in the film festival this year. So you have a film that features surfing as a really big part of your story. Tell us about your film.
Okay, A Long Road to Tao is it's a true story.
The truth is out there. I found it. And in a place I never would have expected. Setting out on my journey, Steinbeck's quote from The Grapes of Wrath stuck in my head. 66 is the mother road, the road of flight.
Damn it!
What am I doing here? Somehow there must be truth on this road that will be revealed without my grasping for it.
This is a surprise? What are you doing here?
Looking for Lance, actually. What is going on?
You're not supposed to be here, Dane. Lance is sick.
Lance? Jeez, man, I thought you'd be happy to see me. You don't have any clue what it took for me to get out here.
I'm dying, Dave.
I don't understand.
Listen, man, when you leave here, it's the last time you're gonna see me.
What is it?
It's the Tao Te Ching. Blind man gave it to me. I know, right?
To me, the Tao is about being in the flow, surrendering to your true nature. I'm not afraid to die. Not anymore, not thanks to you. You gave me that gift. The Tao is impossible to define. It's liquid and ever-changing like the ocean. It's unfathomably powerful. To see the unseen, to hear God in the silence. Inspiration's like water, brother. It's always flowing. Just gotta learn to be the water.
The producer, writer, Michael Allen, he had a best friend growing up, and they were surf friends and traveled up and down the coast surfing and into Mexico and all these great stories. This friend sort of was a pro surfer for a moment and then kind of disappeared off the tour, knowing where he went, knew where he went, and then he shows up sort of years later and just drops off his boards and says, these are for you, and leaves a note and goes. And so he goes on this journey to find out what's going on with this mystery. Why would a surfer give up his boards? Like, a surfer never gives up his boards. And he finds him in the desert of New Mexico, and this was 1989, and he was suffering from AIDS, and he was dying. And at that time it was really a death sentence, and he didn't know that he didn't know that his friend was homosexual, and especially at that time period in a sort of macho surfing culture, that wasn't an easy thing to come out then. So this is really the story of these two friends revealing that themselves to each other and growing through that and dealing with loss and death and having some last fun, and a last surf session, even though they're landlocked, and they find a way to make that happen. Wow. And the character that I played, which was the producer's friend, he was very into Taoism and also, different indigenous practices and spirituality and meditation and tobacco ceremonies, things like that. So he imparted that on his friends. So this was his opportunity to bring all of that to life. And it took him decades to get this story out. So it was really, really a big honor to play his friend and to get to know him through the process. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Do you, in telling a story like that, sometimes it's a burden.
Yeah.
On your soul, carrying a story around like that, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like a lift when you finally got the film out?
I mean, I lost 35 pounds for this film, so the biggest lift was chicken and waffles. I was like sitting around at night on Instagram making reservations for after we wrapped, couldn't wait to eat. But I've had that question a bit, and really it was such an honor that it was dark at times and it was challenging, but it didn't feel heavy to me. Mm-hmm. Obviously the subject matter was, and there was a lot of heavy moments, but as an actor I really revel in things that maybe some people shy away from, and so it was such an opportunity to go to those places, and because it was a real person, to connect with his spirit and kind of make a deal and say, hey, let's bring this forward and let's heal through this so it was a relief, but it was also had a lot of levity for how heavy it was. The process did. Yeah. Wonderful.
And how long did it take you to make the film?
We shot it over the course of, I think we were shooting for about 2 months. We did a month and a half in and around Las Cruces, New Mexico, Mesilla, New Mexico, and by the Oregon Mountains. There was a beautiful area, and then we shot some of it in Santa Cruz, all the surf and footage and the beach stuff, and which is where the filmmakers were from, and so it was a couple-month process. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. I know somebody who lives in Santa Cruz who's an avid surfer.
Yeah. That's like Surftown, USA.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. Yeah. Walk me through the process of how your film came to be in Cindy's Film Festival. That's because I know that's a really good story.
It is a good story, actually. I'll tell it.
Okay.
So one of the biggest things that I'm constantly yelling in a nice way to filmmakers about, and actors too, is you have to get yourself out there. And that looks like various different ways, with reviews, interviews, social media, things like that. And so I, of course, have done a number of different interviews to promote the film festival. One of them was a film finance and distribution podcast. And so I did it, and then I finally got it published, and then I had gotten a message from an actor who had said to me, listen, I listened to your podcast, and he just went on. He was so very flattering and complimentary, talking about how inspiring it was and how much he had learned from this, and he was very impressed. And I'm always very flattered and humbled when people say that to me, and there was just a tone, there was such a lovely tone to it, so I felt compelled to reach out to him. I wrote this lovely message, and in the course of having a conversation, I come to find out that he is an actor, and he's got a feature film. And so most of the time, people will come to me with last-minute entries, and depending on how we're looking, this year I'm super full. And so I said to him, okay, I'll take a look, have my judges take a look, and kind of see where we end up with this. So it turns out it scored well enough to be able to get into the festival, so I came back to him. We started talking, and he's from LA. So I was like, you want to be in New York? And he's like, I don't know. And I kind of worked on this for a few days, like, you want to be in New York, right? So lo and behold, not only did his film get into the film festival, but then, we're working on various other collaborations and partnerships together. And so kind of the tagline has been, if it hadn't have been for Jason listening to the podcast, he wouldn't have approached me. He wouldn't have known about the festival. And now here we are. Not only is he here and making connections, but now he's going to be cast in various things. He has got all sorts of new working relationships. So all of this is possible over one little podcast. That's how it happened.
That's how it
You
happened.
might have to introduce me as a New York actor next time I'm on this.
That's exactly right.
Welcome
We're
to New
working
York,
on it.
man.
I love
Welcome
this
to
city.
New
I've
York.
almost moved here many times. I love New York.
Have you been out to Arthur Avenue yet in the Bronx?
No, I actually haven't.
We're doing that today.
We're doing
As a
that
matter of
today.
fact, today.
You have
Yeah.
to go out to Arthur
Yeah.
Avenue and get
Yes.
some
Yeah.
authentic Italian cuisine.
That is on the. That's where we're
on
going
the
after
agenda.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So that's what I tend to say to people all the time is never take for granted any relationship, never discount any message. I'm always reaching out to people. I'm always encouraging. It's so very important to remind actors and people that they're seen and that they recognize you and you recognize them. It's just, I was just so very taken aback. I mean, people say very kind things about the work I do all the time, but to be acknowledged and appreciated by a person who's never met you, it was like the universe was saying something. It's weird but true.
Yeah, well, but it speaks to, you as a person, and I mean, you're a hub for so many, for so many things that's going on, right? I mean, in the short time that I've known you, already I went to your filmmakers meetup.
Yep.
And I'm going to the festival.
Yes.
And I got to meet Jason, and all these other filmmakers the other night. You are one of these people. You're a connector. I could feel the energy and the passion that you have for, the art of filmmaking and all of, media creation and media art.
Yeah, I think I'm deeply rooted. The journalistic side of things always takes precedence. So anything with writing and journalism, I love covering interesting people. But make no mistake, I absolutely adore actors and filmmakers more than I can tell you. So much so that, and now I'm doing PR. So I've done PR for film festivals and for filmmakers and small business owners. I'm considering an actor too. I'm pretty selective on who I take on because, as you know, PR is a very delicate balance of things, and so you have to have time for everything. But I almost feel, I feel like if I have that much of a reach, I kind of have a responsibility to say, hey, do I want to work and help these people? Because some of them just don't know how to get out there, or they don't have the right connections, and that's what we're here for, is to help facilitate that sort of thing.
And speaking of PR, why don't you tell all of our Brooklyn viewers, tell us about the film festival.
Yes.
Give us the 411.
So Art is Alive Film Festival is very different than most festivals, I'm told by other filmmakers. And one of the reasons why I think they keep coming back year after year is that it is so different. For one, I am very adamant about not having things like tons of celebrities and step and repeats because it distracts and takes away from the cinematic art. People spend a lot of time and they're standing and taking pictures and meeting these folks. And it's not that I don't like celebrities, I just feel like we need to be specific about our purpose here, and that is everything surrounding the film, whether it's meet and greets. We have panels done by an award-winning journalist. All this time, filmmakers have been connecting with each other even before the festival starts. So we're friends by the time we get there. I get them interviews and reviews. I distributed 5 films last year. This year's lineup is 55 films, and out of those, we have 9 premieres. We have 8 student filmmakers. I have a workshop on film PR and why you need me or someone like me. I also have a workshop with an entertainment lawyer. A lot of times filmmakers don't know what they're signing when they sign a distribution contract. It matters to me that they're protected. So I have a panel with a longtime entertainment lawyer. Super excited. This year, 95-year-old Holocaust survivor Ben Lesser is doing a presentation on Friday night. So you get to meet a real living, breathing miracle on Friday. On top of which, the biggest thing for me is just that people are meeting, they're planning new projects, they're excited to submit next year, and they're getting all the components that most people need to walk away from this and say, I'm distributing my product. So I am so super proud that this year is our biggest year, and that already I'm hearing that everybody's so excited and they're happy, and I'm doing them a service. That's what Art is Alive is about, keeping art alive.
It's all in the name.
It is. Art is Alive.
Jason, what night is your film screening, and what time is it going to screen?
It is this Saturday night, the 14th at 9 p.m. At the Producers Club Theater on West 44th and 9th.
Great, fantastic. There you have it. Thanks for tuning in, and a big thank you to Jason Bernardo and Cindy Mish. Thank you for coming out. Here at the BRIC Filmmakers Meetup, we're all about community. We're all about bringing filmmakers from the 5 boroughs and from as far away as they will come to see what we have here at BRIC, see what we have to offer. We have free or cheap, really cheap media classes with A-list professors. We have 2 television studios up here. We have a media lab. We have a podcast studio. We have a documentary film intensive, which is where I made my first short documentary, was right here. And I'm very grateful to that program for helping me get that film out. We also have the podcast intensive. We just started the video arts residency. So we have a lot of things that are happening right here, and I'm very anxious to get more filmmakers in here. I want them to see what Brooklyn is offering the community and show everyone, yeah, we're in Brooklyn and we're all about Brooklyn and making film, but we want to share this with everybody else, and we want everybody to come and see what we're doing here. And there are many opportunities. We have a whole program here for community producers. Once you take the TV studio production classes and the podcasting classes, you earn your certification and you earn the right to work in a studio like this, make your very own show, and have it on the air. We have several channels on Brooklyn Public Access Television, and that's one of the things that I want to do with the Brooklyn Filmmakers Meetup. I want to bring the filmmakers on here. I want to screen the films, and then the recording of that film and the Q&A and everything that we do during that meetup is then broadcast live on the air. So, I mean, not live, but it's pre-recorded and broadcast on the air so that everybody can watch these films and get to know these filmmakers and the process of making film.
That's lovely. I mean, and that's such a benefit to the community. I mean, and not just Brooklyn per se. I mean, I love the fact that it's based here in Brooklyn, but you're wanting to get everybody, all different 5 boroughs, active in all of this.
Everybody.
It's so exciting.
It's very exciting, and I can't wait to have you guys back on again, especially when Jason moves to New York.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
he's probably gonna end up living in Brooklyn.
It's probably going to happen. I've kind of always felt like I have like a karmic sentence. I got to go do my time, and I know at some point I got to do my time here. So
the wharfs are right there. The place where so many of our ancestors came.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hit land right here.
Yeah.
So, and where everybody settled. So, it's there are no coincidences.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing so much with us, and thank you so much. Come to the Art is Alive Film Festival this weekend, everybody, and support the filmmakers. Come see these amazing films and bear witness to these incredible stories. And hopefully we'll see you back in here in our live audience at the BRIC Filmmakers Meetup. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.